I found the bear just after dawn. It was a big one, probably 400 pounds, but it looked like a deflated balloon. Its hide sagged over the earth, limp and bloodless. It looked like something had reached inside and scooped out everything that should have been holding it up. No bullet holes, no claw marks. Just skin and muscle, untouched but empty. I crouched down, gloved fingers prodding the limp flesh. The whole thing felt wrong in a way I couldn't explain. I've been working as a park ranger for almost 2 decades. That means I've seen everything from drunk teenagers to people out looking to make a few extra bucks, hunting out of season. But this wasn't poaching. I grabbed my radio. This is Ranger Powell, reporting a carcass on the north end of Crooked Pines. I've got a bear, adult male, no external wounds, but I swallowed. It's been deboned, completely. Static. Hissed, followed by the scratchy voice of Ranger Gibson. "Repeat that last part, Powell," I said. "It's been deboned." A long pause. "Copy that. Sit tight. I'll run it up the chain." I didn't sit tight. No way I was sticking around with an inside-out bear. I snapped a few pictures, sent them to my supervisor, and marked the GPS coordinates before heading back toward base camp. Crooked Pines was deep country. Real old, real quiet, the kind of place where sound didn't carry right. This was my 3rd season patrolling these woods. I used to be stationed further south, toward Erin Creek. I'd seen weird shit before since coming to Crooked Pines. A deer stripped of its flesh, but left standing upright. Trees with fresh, gaping wounds that leaked thick, clotted sap. Once, I found a pile of elk teeth, all stacked neat in the middle of the trail, like some kind of offering. But this? God almighty, this was something else. I kept walking along the now familiar path, boots crunching through dry needles, my breath puffing. In the crisp autumn air, the sun had started dipping below the tree line, staining the sky a bruised purple. The trail back to camp wasn't far, half an hour, maybe less. I was daydreaming about making a hot cup of coffee over the fire when I heard it. A soft clatter, clatter, clack. I stopped, narrowing my eyes as I listened. Silence. I turned, scanning. The tree line, hand drifting to the hunting knife on my belt. Nothing moved. I exhaled, shook my head, and kept walking. 10 minutes later, I heard it again. Clack, clack, clatter. Closer this time, like bones rattling in a sack. My skin went cold. I'd heard twigs snap, leaves rustle, the sharp crack of branches breaking under something big. But this wasn't that. This was more rhythmic. It almost sounded musical in a haunting kind of way. I picked up the pace, heart hammering in my chest. The sound stayed. With me, there was no doubts about it. Something was following me. The trees grew denser, shadows stretching long over the path. I reached for my flashlight, thumb flicking the switch, and as that bright burst of false light came into being, I saw it. A shape moving between the trees, just at the edge of the fading light. Tall and spindly, made entirely out of bones. I couldn't tell how many. Dozens, hundreds. The off-white marrow was twisting, shifting, clicking and clacking together like some grotesque puzzle. A human ribcage formed its chest. An elk's skull perched where a head should be. A bear's massive spine curved along its back, vertebrae flexing with each step. Stray pieces dangled from its limbs, deer femurs, wolf jaws, a collection of finger bones threaded together like beads, and it was walking toward me. I stumbled back, breath coming short. The flashlight beam wavered, casting jagged shadows as the thing took another step. Click, clatter. It raised one long, gnarled limb, part human arm, part something animal toward me. I bolted, branches whipped my face. My pack bounced hard against my shoulders. I could hear it behind me, faster now. The bone rattle shifting into a horrible scraping sound, like something dry and hollow, dragging itself through the dirt. The base camp's solar-powered dusk-to-dawn lights were close. I could see them flickering between the trees as the dark creeped in around me, then crack, pain. white hot and searing, lacing straight up my left arm. I screamed, tumbling forward onto my knees. My hand, my fucking hand, it was empty. The skin, still there. The muscle, the tendons. There was no blood, no wound, but the bones were gone. My fingers curled inward like deflated balloons, limp and useless. I could feel the absence, a terrible gnawing emptiness that went all the way down to my wrist. I turned, gasping, and saw the thing crouched low, just feet away. My bones, my own fucking bones, dangled from its outstretched hand. The metacarpals, still threaded together in a ghostly echo of my grip. It tilted its elk skull, as if considering me. Then it took my bones and placed them into its own arm, almost reverent, like a thief slotting stolen treasure into place. After that, I don't know what happened, honestly. I don't remember getting to camp. I don't remember getting into my tent. But I do remember the sound outside, a slow, deliberate clatter-clack. Bones settling into bones, building something new. That happened a month ago now. The doctors can't explain it. The missing bones, I mean. I told them that I just woke up that way. Didn't think they would believe the rest of my story. Crooked Pines is a big place. It's a weird place. If you go there, hiking, camping, or working, you should know that ahead of time. You should know you might end up losing something more important than just the bones in your hand. That was, I'm a ranger at Crooked Pines. 1 month ago, something took my bones. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a thumbs up. Tell us in the comments what story you'd like us to narrate next, or send us yours if you dare. But be careful. Some stories are better left untold. Sleep well, if you can.